Hi, I'm Laverne Mayor Don Kendrick, and I'm standing here with Habib Balian. Habib is the CEO of the Foothill Gold Line Construction Authority. He's been very successful in this organization in two phases of our Gold Line. First was the Union Station to Pasadena, and then the second was from Pasadena to Azusa. Well, Measure M settled that who's going to be the next phase, and it's all the way from Azusa then to Pomona. So I'm going to turn it over to Habib, ask him, how we're doing, the construction and so forth. If I have any questions on what Habib says, I'll pitch in and get those answered for us. So let's turn it over to Habib.
Well, I think we're in a great spot. This is the future station for Laverne. So the station is going to be just over my shoulder that way, and the parking is going to be over here. There'll be two additional light rail tracks that'll be installed that run through this right of way. The freight track will be moved to the north, and then two light rail tracks will be put in. So we'll be set to bring service to Laverne and to the San Gabriel Valley. It's a great thing for Laverne, for the future of Laverne, for development purposes. The burden for these cities to produce more housing and create more livable cities is very great. The state is mandating it, and I think this will really help the cities along the Foothill Extension fulfill that responsibility and that goal.
Great. So this rail line's been here my whole life.
Yeah.
We lived
100 years.
Right behind that. We lived right against it.
Yep.
So my understanding is that we're going to have not one, but this is a pretty wide right-of-way, and we're going to be able to put two more light rails, or an eastbound and a westbound, right in the same right-of-way.
That's right. We're going to take advantage of the right-of-way. We only have one track in here right now, but it's about 100 foot wide. So we'll be able to move that track over to the north and then add two additional light rail tracks. So it'll be a shared right-of-way, but not shared track. So it runs very, very safe and very independent of the freight that runs through here.
Great. So Measure M brought the finances, at least through Laverne and then into Pomona. What can we expect timing-wise on having this completed, Habib?
So the contract was awarded in October to Keywood Parsons. They're a design-build team that will complete the design and then do the construction of the project. They've started their work all along the right-of-way, particularly in Laverne. There's been some underground utility relocation work that's happened out here. There's also a lot of testing for utilities, potholing to make sure they know what's underground throughout the alignment. So that work is already underway. And I would expect in about 6 months, you'll start to see heavy construction throughout this right-of-way. And then as far as heavy work going on in the city, we'll have a process working with the city that we can notify them well in advance of what the contractor is going to be doing, and then let you know, the city council and your residents know what impacts are going to be. If there's going to be detours, if there's going to be turnarounds or any kind of disruption within the community, we'll be able to tell you that well in advance. And we have a communications team internally is also working with not only the city but also with the design build team. It's their responsibility to make sure that information is put out there. And we don't want to surprise the city, we don't want to surprise your residents with a detour they didn't know about. So there'll be plenty of notice, and that's key to our construction. The construction work is pretty typical, the work that we're going to be doing, but it's really the noticing to the community and making sure that we don't tie up too much of the city at one time as we do our construction. Let us get in and let us get out quickly.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be detours, and we're going to have to be a part of that plan in order to get this thing built. We have a lot of economic development that centers around this Gold Line, so we're excited about having in. Any idea when we can expect the completion?
So the contract was awarded in October. It's about 5 years worth of work. So we expect that the contract will be completed by very early 2026, January 2026. And then it'll be up to Metro at that point to test the system for startup and then put it into service sometime in 26.
Great. And so it's going to go to Pomona.
We'll go
and
to
their
Pomona.
station is going to go close to Gary Avenue.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our residents?
Well, this project goes all the way from the Azusa-Glendora border all the way to Montclair.
Yeah.
So just to keep that in mind, that we have funding that gets us to Pomona. As you mentioned, Measure M got us the funding, so we're in good shape for that. But now getting from Pomona to Montclair is a priority for us. So we're going to be working over the next couple of years trying to identify those dollars and get that work going as soon as possible. I think it's very important to get to Pomona, to the transit center, and to serve the needs of San Bernardino as well.
Oh, and you think, I was talking to one of the council members in Montclair, they said they have 1,600 parking spaces waiting for this Gold Line to come in.
Yeah, well, our legislation originally only took us to Claremont. And then the legislation was changed. It took us all the way to Montclair because it made so much sense because of the transit center there. They have thousands of residential units being planned and built right now in Montclair, as well as their Montclair Transit Center with thousands of parking spaces, and it's a perfect terminus. It also interfaces with Metrolink, so it's a great location for a hub of this project. Of course, folks always want to talk about getting from Montclair to Ontario Airport. Yeah. So that's out there too, that this project is really focused looking at the next 30 years, and it will continue to go east, I'm sure.
So this is being built not only for us, but our children and our grandchildren.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
It's not for us old guys, it's really for the next generation.
That's right. Well, thank you, Habib, for your time. Appreciate the expertise. And for our Laverne residents, I've talked to Habib and the Foothill Gold Line Construction Authority, and we are going to be having periodic updates that we'll be able to do videos right here, show some of the construction, and give some updates on where we are and how soon we expect it to be completed.
We'll also be hosting community meetings in each of the cities along the right-of-way. We will have one in Laverne on March the 10th at 5:30 at the Laverne Community Center.
Great.
So it'll be an open house format. Folks can come in, they can get updated on the project, be reminded generally about the project and our schedule, see pictures of the artwork that's happening in Laverne, where the parking is going to be located, the station, and all the details related to the project. So it'll be a great night for folks to come out, and of course we invite you and the rest of the City Council.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you, Habib. Sure. It's important for me as your mayor to keep you updated and give you information as it comes along. So thank you very much.